All right, so hello, this is Wmpyr. I'm going to walk you guys through the stick chokes, okay? So first things first is I want you guys to tilt the stick like this so that you're looking at your fingers, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to put the stick behind the back of the neck, okay? And once you do that, then your left hand is going to reach, so this one is going to be palm down. So this one that went behind their head is palm up. So this is palm up, this is palm down, and there's my choke right here. Okay, this is a cross collar choke, same idea as in a judo and jiu-jitsu cross collar choke. So my hand position is like this, and their neck is in between both of my hands right there. And then I just try to get your hands as close as possible, and then you're going to be using the blade to close that off. The blade of your wrist, your forearms, to close it off. So this is the position right here. You can see palm up, palm down. So the palm up, this is the one that's going to go first, holding the stick behind the back of the head, and then this one will go right here. And then this is where you can apply the choke. So next, instead of going palm up, we're going to go palm down, okay? And you're going to go palm down, so this goes right behind the head. Now this hand is going to go palm up. So once again, it's palm up, palm down, okay? And this one is going to grab, and you want your hands close together, and then you're going to put your wrists right on both sides of his neck, and then close your elbow. You see, close the elbows together, and this is the choke right here. And this position, as you can see, is like this, and this is why they call it the baseball bat choke, okay? Because it looks like I'm holding a baseball bat, as you can see. His neck is going to be in between both of my hands, and I want that space as closed as possible. And then I close my elbows as well, and that compresses their neck, okay? So that's the idea right there. Now let me show you guys a variation on the baseball bat choke. So this hand is going to go right here, okay, behind on the neck right here, like so, okay, and then from here, the baseball bat choke was you're going to go ahead and grab like this and squeeze, okay. But if you are in this position here, what you can also do is this hand goes under the stick. So my left hand goes under the stick, and it's like I'm doing almost like a rear naked choke, but using the stick as my arm instead of right here. So instead of that, I'm using the stick right there. So same idea, palm down. This goes behind their neck, okay? This hand goes under the stick, and boom. I snake it around them, and then I press with the forearm, and then I pull. So I'm pulling with my right arm, and I press out. So it's kind of a scissor motion. This arm pushes out, this arm pulls in. So that's the scissor right there that I'm doing. So boom, this is a very, very strong choke. Okay, so that's a good variation. The next one I'm going to show you guys is a different set, a completely different set, and this is the #1 strike that we do in Filipino martial arts. #1, this is #2, depends on the system, but a lot of times this is the #1, so just like this. You're going to do that #1 strike, so then that takes the stick right in front of the person. So rather than going behind, this time the stick is in the front of the person. So from right here, my hand is going to go over like this, and I just pass the stick to my left hand. So my right hand is free, my left hand now has a stick, and believe it or not, this has a ton of leverage. You see that? I just yanked him by his neck, right? So I pull here, and that causes a lot of strain on the neck, so please be careful. So let's do that again. Right here, my right hand goes boom, right at the front, right on the front of the guy. And then this hand comes over like I'm trying to put him in a headlock or something, but I just grab the stick, and this is the pass. I pass the stick, The other side is under my armpit, and that gives me the leverage right here. Okay, now I can actually make the choke much tighter. So I could go under or over depending on how much space I have. The main idea is grab your own wrist. I grab my wrist and that closes, that applies the choke. So I'm jamming the blade of my right forearm into his neck, and then the other side I'm pulling. So remember, this pull is brutal. So I'm adding that pull plus the forearm into the neck, and there's your choke right there. So let me show you guys what that looks like. So right here, their neck is here, okay? I'm gonna grab my wrist and I wanna close off this hole as much as I can. So that's where the blade of my forearm is jamming in, and then I pull, and that gives me leverage. So that is a tremendous amount of pressure right on their neck. Now, the next one I want to show you guys is, let's same thing again. Boom, right here. I pass like this, and let's say he's freaking out because it's uncomfortable, and the stick slips out. Not a problem. So then from here, it's like I have a headlock. Okay, I'm just gonna put the stick on the side of his neck. See, it's on the side, not on the front. No, this is the front, on the side. So 2 eyes, mouth, so right on the side, and then this is my grip right here. I'm just holding onto the stick. I'm at the end of the stick down here because it gives me more leverage, and I pull. So I'm pulling with my right hand. So this is my right hand that's pulling. My left hand is pulling this way, and that creates a tremendous amount of torque right on the neck. Okay, and this is what I saw this from the Dog Brothers. They call this the Fang choke. And if you're having trouble with any of this, like this leverage stuff, and it slips out or whatever, you could just ram this into the throat and just shove it in, twist it in, and this in itself has a tremendous amount of pressure. So you could just use that if things just get too complex. Okay, so it's good to simplify, right? Now, the next thing is, instead of coming this way, we're just going to go this way. Okay, so rather than putting the stick onto the opponent like this, I'm just going to put it this way. So the opposite side, just like that. Same idea. My right hand goes over, I pass the stick, and then I get that leverage right here. But then to finish the choke, grab my own wrist and close it off and pull. Okay. If it slips out, not a problem. Then get that headlock position, put the stick to the side of the neck, and then here we go. And if it slips out like that, that's fine. Shove it in and apply pressure like so. Okay. Now, come right here. Okay. I want to go over the stick to pass it. But let's say I mess up, I go under the stick. So this is kind of the variation that Sensei Pedro showed. So then you put the stick against my own neck, but I'm still grabbing. I pass the stick to the left hand. See, my right hand's not holding it anymore. I still get a tremendous amount of leverage at this point. The actual technique that Sensei Pedro showed, the arm was over here, and then I could put this leverage and get them in a straight arm bar attacking their elbow joint. But let's say I don't have that. Just this alone is fine. Okay, I can do this. And once again, depending on the space I have, go over or under, grab your own wrist and finish. So I'm putting in the forearm into the side of their neck, and I'm also pulling. And this is the choke. I'm applying pressure with the blade of my wrist forearm area. Okay, boom, right there. So I can apply pressure like so. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.